Hello Capricorn, here's your weekly horoscope for January 10 to January 16. Well, as we saw last week, there was insurrection in the USA, and I suggested with these squares going on that there was going to be trouble somewhere, and unfortunately that is not over with yet. Mars only went into Taurus last week, the day of the insurrection at the US Capitol, but it is now squaring Jupiter as well as Saturn, and that kind of blows things out of proportion. First of all, with Mars squaring Saturn, Mars and Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius, in general, it just makes for a period that can be uncomfortable for a lot of people. There's conflicts, there's confrontations, there's sometimes it can even be very ugly confrontations with Mars-Saturn square. Sometimes people get hurt, sometimes people get frustrated, and accidents can happen. With Mars squaring Jupiter at the same time, even though Jupiter and Saturn are moving away from their conjunction, it does blow things out of proportion. Mars square Jupiter, you tend to be far too busy. There's just too much that you've taken on and you're too busy, and it just tends to blow everything out of proportion. Once Mars then also conjuncts Uranus from Friday on this week, it is going to be even more dicey. So it's a bit of a rough aspect in the sky. It doesn't directly hit Capricorn, but it does affect you in the area of money. So money could be a bit of a problem right now. There's not enough of it, or it could be nearly anything. Of course, some people have lost their jobs. Some people are still struggling with the economy. Capricorn tends to be pretty good with money, but this is a kind of aspect where even your sign suffers a little bit. With Sun conjunct Pluto, Sun conjunct Pluto, yes, from Monday on. Basically, there's a bit of an issue there with your sign. One, the sun is a brightening influence in any sign that it is, so it does highlight your better qualities. But Pluto in Capricorn and then conjunct by the sun, not so great for your sign. You tend to already be a little too involved with control issues. A lot of Capricorns have a lot of sometimes even unconscious, but they may be aware of their own fears of abandonment, rejection, being overpowered or controlled. And because of those fears, that's why Capricorn sometimes is much more aggressive at times, or more pushy, we'll say. Your ruling planet is Saturn, and Saturn can be a bit of a tough guy in the zodiac, and that's why Capricorns can be so strong. But sometimes you're a little too strong. And with a Sun-Pluto conjunction, there is more of a tendency for you then to perhaps be a little too domineering, or wanting to have too much control, and you may not be looking realistically at what's going on around you. Capricorn sometimes tends to fight situations that are a lost cause. They will flog a dead horse. They almost never give up. They certainly do not like to be attacked or overpowered in any way. And whether they are, or they just perceive that they are being under attack, they usually will come out fighting. Not the greatest week for anybody, and this is probably not the greatest week for you to be fighting with people as well. Having said that, Capricorn will always do what they want. With Venus in Capricorn, it does soften things a little bit. Maybe if you remember your loved ones, that will help cool your jets a little bit. You can have self-control. And as well with Venus in Capricorn, it does tend to make you feel a little softer towards children and loved ones. Sometimes Capricorn gets into a fighting mood because they feel their family has been threatened in some way. And you don't want to do that, because Capricorn is very protecting of their family. So this could be why there may be some disputes this week as well. It could be over somebody wanting to protect the children. But as well with Venus there, you are feeling softer. You're a little more in touch with your feelings this week too. That could be a bad thing if you're the type that loses their temper quickly, but it can be a good thing if you are the type of Capricorn that can have better self-control, because you remember that your behavior can hurt a lot of other people, and perhaps stop yourself from making yourself look too foolish when you attack somebody that is far weaker than yourself. The Uranus making a station in Taurus and moving direct does help minimize some of the surprises that we've been dealing with. And as well, the moon ending up in Pisces by the end of the week, conjunct Neptune. Pisces is a wonderful sign for Capricorn. You do have a fish's tail in your symbol, and I find that Capricorn and Pisces have a natural connection. And Pisces can be very good at helping soothe Capricorn when their feelings are bruised or when they're feeling angry. But be careful. Capricorn can be very hurtful to a very gentle sign like Pisces. So if you're a Pisces in love with a Capricorn, make sure that you're kind to your Capricorn this week. And Capricorn, make sure that you're kind to your Pisces people, and be kind to everybody in your family if you can be. Unfortunately, if you create a lot of ruckus this week, it's probably going to blow up in your face. So I really recommend you try to be disciplined and hang on this week. Have a good week ahead.